Okay, ZABO is 2, 1. And he is here. Oh shit,
what's up, dude?
ZABO.
How are you, man?
Dude, I am good.
Sorry, I wasn't sure. Was it your live video that was having troubles, or was it my internet? I wasn't able to, like...
It was me. I was having trouble. Honestly, I accidentally just clicked end. I just clicked something else. So it was totally my bad. What I should be asking is, dude, how are you? How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Life's good. I'm super happy. Music's going super well, man. Yeah, everything's great.
So you were not feeling well a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I think it's just like the Canadian winter got to me early, you know?
That's right. Hopefully you're
Where are you living?
In the Bay Area right now. So like right near San Francisco.
So warm weather for you, right?
It is warm weather. Even like the cold weather is warm. It was like 60 degrees like at its coldest, I think, today here.
So jealous. So jealous.
Are you on the east coast of Canada or west coast?
Yeah, I'm like East Coast, not like on the coast really, more like in the middle. I'm in Toronto, which is like I'd say like more eastern Canada, but it's like the middle of
like right above Michigan.
It's close to Michigan, yeah.
Yeah.
Right above Michigan.
Yeah, kind of. So yeah, it's cold though. It's really cold.
It's great to finally like talk to you in person because we've been kind of homies for a minute, but just online.
Yeah, we've never like chatted face to face. I don't think we have a collab. We've chatted online for like a couple of years at least, right?
Yeah, you were the first person I collabed with as Social Kid.
Really?
Yeah.
I think our song might actually be my first collab as ZABO too. I think.
Whoa, that's mystical. That's cool.
Bromance.
There should be a bromance.
Yeah.
Well, dude, ZABO, I was listening. You were one of the first like mid-tempo specialists I discovered in my like journey looking for people that did music like this.
Right. Did you hit me up? Is that how we met?
Yeah, I hit you up because I was like, damn, this guy's got fire tracks, and I just figured, why not hit him up and see if he's down to collab or just talk.
Yeah, man, we hit it off right off the bat, and like I still love our collab, man. I still play it, like I play it in all my sets. Like I still love it.
Thank you. I love it too. That's a really good collab. Your mixing and mastering skills like really bring out the track.
I appreciate that, man. I really do.
You have a way of mastering where you can get your track sounding like loud, and you like make the waveforms really big without like snipping the transients somehow, and it still like punches. So I don't know how you do that.
He was just saying this to me the other day, actually. Like, he was literally just telling me about this. I'm his disembodied voice, by the way. I'm his wife, and I'm just gonna like interject periodically if that's okay. Is that
all good? All good.
Okay,
all
cool.
Well, actually, like my mastering is really simple. It's funny. It's all Ableton stock stuff, except I have sausage fattener working as a limiter on like the very end, but it's only at like 8% of like the dry wet. It's pretty much just acting as a limiter, but it does give the tracks like a lot more body in the low mids. But it literally just goes an OTT, kind of like multi-band compression, mid-side EQ, glue compressor, and the sausage fattener, and that's it.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. So I'm gonna like wrap my head around it. First, you multi-band compress, which is basically evening out the frequencies. Yeah. Do you put it like on? Wait, you use the OTT. Do you put it like on like full blast or just like?
It's preset. I do
the multi-band compressor.
Exactly, but it's not the actual OTT preset. It's pretty similar, but it's not exact. And then I vary it. Like I switch it up track to track, but
that's good.
It's usually around like honestly like 40% dry wet, which like might sound crazy on the master. but it's worked for me. And so like it's been like I've had pretty much the same master chain for like 2 years. Like I like changed it a little bit, but it's been pretty much the same thing for like 2 years, and it's working for me. So I don't see a reason to change it, right?
So you put sausage.
Smart man.
Yeah, he's a smart man. I've been playing around with mastering and
Too much?
too
sorry.
much.
There's no such thing as too much. There's no such thing as too much learning.
She's just pointing out that like I kind of got caught in the loudness war a little bit.
You did.
And
Absolutely.
I was trying. I noticed my tracks were like losing punch in their like transients, and it was because I was using like 2 limiters to try to like really squash the sound out.
Yeah,
But I was just like snipping all the like the punchiness, so
all
everything
the
was
punches.
loud.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like, because everyone is, even if you don't like really realize it, you want to have like a loud track. You want to be as loud as like the other tracks in the industry, just because like loud sounds like it gets people fired up. A louder song will, like, to the average listener, will sound better just because it's louder. They don't even realize it. So people naturally want a louder song, and yeah, I've been lucky enough to like I've gotten to a point where I am able to like get a loudness that I am looking to get. Like I'm able to get to that certain level, but still keep the transients and keep like enough dynamics in the track where it still sounds like punchy and good.
Yeah, that's the trick. I think using like a, what did you say? Like a saturator at the end instead of a limiter.
Well,
That's
yeah,
a good idea, because it's not like you're not just limiting it. You're kind of just like turning it up and like simulating like an analog distortion. I don't know if this makes sense.
Well, to be honest, like I got like the kind of the template of this like idea from like a friend, a producer friend who I used to talk to a lot a few years ago. He sent me over his version of this, and it had the sausage fat, and I was like, wow, that's so weird. And that's how I kind of built my master chain. It's like very similar to what he sent me. So I can't take all the credit for like the perfect mastering, but I was able to like take that and learn from it and kind of make it my own. But I would have never thought to not put a limiter on the end of the master chain and instead put like sausage fattener. Like people make fun of sausage fattener, right?
Yeah, they do. That's a Data Life plugin, right?
Yeah.
Those guys. Did you ever listen to Data Life?
Oh, dude, they were like one of like when I was first started to listen to music or listen to dance music and start producing dance music. They were like one of my faves. I've seen them, like I've seen them at shows a couple times. Like I love their music.
Oh, we got some comments in the chat. Reality Chargers. Yo, check this. He's saying, I got my son to sing Breathe while in the car, and when the beat drops, he bobs his head hella hard.
Oh my god,
that's
amazing.
Really cool. How do you feel about knowing that someone's kid's like dancing to your track?
You know what? Like I've seen people say stuff like that to me before, and like that like their kids love my music and like just shit like that. Like that's fucking cool, man. Like that's fucking cool.
So let me tell you one more. So my kid, I have a 3-year-old son, and he loves Jurassic Dark.
He's obsessed.
That's like
he's obsessed.
He will like want to hear that track over and over again. And like before, he was obsessed with a different track.
Okay.
But like now he doesn't even care about that track because he just wants to listen to the Jurassic Park song. Because the way like you build it in, because he loves Jurassic Park, and you have the T-Rex like.
Yeah, that's from the movie too.
Yeah, every time he hears it, he'll just go like "roar," and then it says "Welcome to Jurassic Park," and he knows that.
And he's like "Dino Stomp," and he like sits there and stomps.
He just goes
and
like this.
Headbangs so hard that he like flips his body because he's little.
We'll get a video of
so cool.
That's cute, man.
We're gonna get a video and send it to you, ZABO.
Please do. Yeah, that's
he loves it, and I mean it's a really good track too.
I appreciate that. Yeah, like Jurassic Park is like probably in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. So I was like, what if I like kind of take the melody, like the main theme song melody, and like switch it up and start to make it dark, and then I can kind of build a track around that. I was kind of like thinking about that, doing that idea for a song. Then I just went for it, and yeah, I really like how it turned out.
Yeah, it's good.
That was really good. The way you like tonally changed the melody, like I don't know, you like did like some diminish like triad or interval action.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what I did, but I remember the first 8 bars, like the very first section of the track. It actually is an exact copy of the melody of Jurassic Park, which I was like debating if I should do, but I'm like, dude, like I'm not like getting billions of streams, like I'm not gonna get in trouble for this, so I just did it. And then I think I started changing like a couple notes in the melody, maybe 1 or 2 notes, just to make it sound like dark and went crazy. And then I added some like darker sounds as like the track progressed, and then that's how it kind of evolved.
I like it. I like how you switch up your drop, because it's like a break beat rather than like a techno beat.
Yeah. I always try and keep it fresh. Like I haven't really experimented with the breakbeat stuff a lot, but with like in Jurassic Dark, with like the rhythm of how the basses go, the breakbeat actually like it just worked really well. So I tried out the breakbeat thing. I really liked it.
I love breakbeats, and they're really cool because like it puts a lot of emphasis on the snare, and
yeah,
snares could be really cool. You have this other track that's like a breakbeat. Oh, man, the track name is on the tip of my tongue. I used to like know it.
I should know it.
Well, basically, it like
Yes, you should.
it's at 90 BPM, and like you just have a kick and like a clap, and it has like this really weird scratchy synth that's like
oh,
like but it's like,
is it Blasphemy?
it might be Blasphemy, yeah, because it just goes like boom, clap, boom, clap,
Okay,
and that's all it does, and it's great.
Yeah, it is like
Blasphemy.
a really gritty, like the bass doesn't even really have like a note to it.
Yeah, that's sick. That's a sick track. Blasphemy. Yeah, you're one of the best mid-tempo producers in the game right now, in my opinion.
Hey,
I
I
appreciate
agree,
that.
and I'm really, really picky in general.
She does. She will slap down everything I show her, basically.
I really appreciate that. Hey, one sec. I tried to write a comment. Now I can't get the keyboard off the bottom half of my screen. You know how I can get that to go? Sorry.
Let's see here.
Oh, I got it. Woo, 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 woo. Watching a football game as well in the background.
You gotta like. Oh, now I got it. Oh yeah, you just gotta like click somewhere.
I got it. Yeah.
You got it. What's good?
Let's see who's watching. We got KYB. Oh, my boy KYB. Have you ever talked to KYB?
I think so. I have listened to KYB's music, and it's good.
Yeah, I heard a couple of his remixes recently, and they blew me away. One was, do you remember the song Mammoth by Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so he one of my favorite songs of all time. Like, I know it's EDM mainstream as fuck, but I always love that song. But
Okay.
but I heard like a remix he did, and like it's so fucking sick, man. Yeah, he's good.
Damn, of that track?
Yeah. Do you want me to play it for a sec?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So sick. KYB, you're fucking sick, bro. You're fucking sick. Oh, fuck!
It's the build up.
Oh, I can hear it now.
Midtempo electro. That's sounding pretty sick. We're gonna have to blast it on the speakers.
So yeah, that's fucking. When I heard that song, it got me so fired up.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. I couldn't really like hear like the full nuances of it, but like I like the idea of like remixing like tracks like that and like slowing them down.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about like the term EDM in general, like how it's used nowadays?
Okay, so that's a loaded question for sure.
Yeah, it is.
I like that question. Well, here's the thing.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. I still like consider all dance music, all electronic dance music, technically is EDM. But usually when I like am thinking of the term EDM or I'm talking about dance music and I refer to like EDM, I just kind of like kind of say that to mean like a mainstream or like it was EDM or like like it's like the mainstream.
Thank you, ZABO.
The pop dance music I consider EDM, even though I know that all like electronic dance music is EDM and like you and me, we technically make EDM because it's electronic dance music. But I think a lot of people in the industry and just have like kind of coined that term as like what mainstream dance music is now instead of just like dance music as a whole, because I think there's just so many subgenres and like there's so many like different wormholes in dance music and everything now that EDM kind of got the term itself changed as a meaning, I think.
Yeah, you are definitely right. I kind of like am like you, where I'll like use the term EDM to mean everything, but like so many people and like industry people are using it like the way that you just described, and that's kind of like becoming like the thing.
Yeah.
I would like say that more old school like genres like house and techno and trance, especially like in the trance world, I've noticed they'll like say like big room house is EDM, or anything that does not sound like rave music from like the 2000s is like not EDM, because they're kind of pushing like even the arrangements of older EDM tracks are like different. They're like 7 minutes long and like very progressive. Will have like multiple grooves, not really like a drop, the more like a climax. It's like a whole different style of music in a way.
Oh yeah, like I mean the old school dance music and like techno nowadays, like that's like so like polar opposite of like what I think of like when I think EDM. My brain always just thinks like big room house, like electro house, like those big room bangers that like we used to like go nuts to in 2012. And then you have like such like minimal stuff that it's like I wouldn't even like think of that to be EDM, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't want that is the thing, though. That's part of like
Oh yeah.
why there's a distinction, I think, is like the underground scene, like the hardcore techno people and trance and some house, like they want it to stay underground. 100%. And they almost kind of like want that distinction. They want to like be separated from EDM, which is they think of as like poppy and mainstream and
not cool. Yeah.
You know, and they they want that.
I totally get that. Yeah, in Toronto, like the underground like house scene, like techno and tech house is so big in Toronto, and there's so many like genre elitists. They're kind of like they want to know like the most niche artists and like go to like the most underground shows. Like it almost becomes like a competition. So like for someone to associate like underground techno and like as like EDM, like to them it's like blasphemy. They're like, oh my god, no. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like a hipster contest.
It's literally it's just about who's the most. Yeah.
Back in like the day, like that's like what the drum and bass jungleists were like. They're still like that probably. That's like
drum and bass. Yeah.
I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for drum and bass. I never was like into the jungle stuff or like really into drum and bass like in the past few years, but like recently I think because mid-tempo, it can almost like, if you double like a mid-tempo song and put a drum and bass, like drum loop over it, it can be like be a slapper. And,
you are right.
And yeah, and so like because of that, I've been listening to like some more modern like drum and bass songs, and like I actually really like drum and bass. It always gets me fired up.
Sorry, I'm chewing.
You're good. What are you eating?
My wife made me breakfast for dinner. It is roasted, like cut up potatoes with bacon and green chilies.
That sounds lovely.
With a little bit of cheese on top. And avocado. And avocado cream sauce.
Avocado cream sauce. That's so California. I love it.
Your style of music. Or do you like fancy yourself as like a mid-tempo specialist, or do you want to go and branch out other styles?
That's a really good question. I definitely like associate myself in the mid-tempo genre, but I don't want to be thought of as like just a mid-tempo artist. I do have Pills, which is a bass house song, or like a dark house, kind of like a Drezzo-y song. And a lot of the stuff I've been working on recently is not mid-tempo. I've been doing like a lot of stuff in the 150 range, both like bass driven and melodic driven. So
cool.
My manager and I have been like talking a lot about like the direction we want to go with like the ZABO project in terms of like the music content. So I'm still going to be releasing a lot of like heavy shit and mid-tempo stuff, but I also want to see what I can do with like a kind of like a new style, but like keeping it sound like, yo, what's up, buddy?
Oh, dude, my son came by. He wanted to tell you how much he loves your song Jurassic Dark.
What's up, man? Thanks for the support. I appreciate it.
This is the guy that made Jurassic Dark.
You know that
Isn't
song?
that crazy?
You know the Jurassic Park song, Jude?
Yeah, Jurassic Park song.
Heck yeah, man.
He loves it. He especially loves it when the dinosaur like roars.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to show
awesome.
Zabo your dinosaur roar?
Mm-hmm.
Show.
Oh.
My tablet.
What's he getting?
He's gonna get his tablet. I think he's trying to like show you like the show that he's watching, but like that's like how he basically he loves it.
That's so awesome, man.
Oh my God! Here he comes. Jude. What
are you showing him now?
Jurassic Park song.
Oh, he wants to. He's watching this thing called Dino, like some dinosaur show. He wants to show you.
I love dinosaurs. Dino Zone.
I'm
Dino Zone. Is that your favorite show, Jude?
Okay, put it
Okay,
down.
I love
okay,
dinosaurs.
okay.
Is that your favorite show, Jude?
Well, give it
No,
back.
he's talking to you.
Give it back.
Okay, he's getting kind of distracted. But suffice to say, he loves your song, and it's great seeing like little guys like rock out to like.
Oh, it's so cool, man. It's so cool.
Listen.
It's like when we were younger, like a lot of our parents would be into like rock music, and you'd see like little kids at like rock concerts, like little kids on their dad's shoulders. It's so cool to like see the youth like the music that we like, you know?
It is cool because like this style of music is kind of, I mean, electronic music is kind of new in the sense that it's like not as old as like, I mean, obviously like rock music that's been around since like I mean, if you want to be technical, like the 50s.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe earlier than that. And so like, I feel like for like millennials or maybe Generation X, like parents are like the first wave of like new, like people like being born with EDM. Cause when I was young, like I didn't really get exposed to EDM till like the very earliest, like 8 or 9.
That's still really young, man. I don't even think I really knew of any dance music until I was like 14 or 15. Like It was like late. I was in high school for sure.
How did you discover it?
I think like, well, my best friend Nick, I think he might have like introduced me to like a few songs or like artists, maybe like Levels by Avicii, rest in peace Avicii, or like the Skrillex, that like first Skrillex EP that was super sick, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites.
But you got into EDM like post 2010.
It was probably right around 2010 that I kind of got into it, but I wasn't like fully into it until like a couple years later. It was around like 2012 where I like got obsessed with it.
Damn, interesting.
Yeah.
That's so interesting because I kind of got into it in like the late 90s.
Wow.
I mean I was a kid though.
He's old.
I'm old. I'm 35.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you look my age. I'm 25. You look good, man.
Thank you.
What's your skin routine, dog?
My skin routine is
He has none.
I have none.
He drinks a lot of
Oh,
water.
well, I drink a lot of water.
That's the secret, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, and he doesn't drink alcohol.
I don't drink alcohol. Not really. Sometimes.
That helps. I'm sure
Like
that definitely
basically none.
Yeah.
helps. For sure.
That does help for sure. 'Cause alcohol dries out your skin if you drink it in excess. But yeah, a friend of mine, I think my mom's like best friend's like daughter, who was like a year older than me at this like house we were staying at, like showed me a Crystal Method CD, and I like heard like that, and I was like, what is this? Because before that, I just only like knew like rock music, and when you're younger, like music is way more abstract and like weird and like crazy. So hearing like electronic music as like a kid was just really like
There's nothing
mind-expanding.
like it. Yeah, like there's no other style like it, really.
Yeah. And in the like late 90s, breaks was like really big. So like Crystal Method, The Prodigy, Chemical Brothers, those type of people were what's like initially got me into her. Oh, let's read this comment. What are your thoughts on the direction of dark EDM, regardless of tempo and genre? I've been noticing the heavy hitters like Tiesto, Dario, and even Van Buren. I've noticed it more since Rez. Since Rez came in the scene, I'm honestly excited about it. So you're saying that like okay, let me break this down. So are you saying that like people like Tiesto?
So much opportunity for like a lot of people to succeed, sorry. Which I think it just pushes boundaries for everyone, and like everyone wants to kind of like play around like with different styles and everything, but no one really wants to be pigeonholed to one style, right? So I think it's super cool.
It is super cool. I think what's happening is like we're just seeing like the early stages of this style in music like blowing up essentially.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
a lot of like the people that were like into it earlier on may say that it's like hit its peak, but I feel like that kind of happens like right before it blows up.
Yeah, I mean it's weird like because in 2012 dubstep was like a huge thing, and I feel like in maybe like 2014, 15 it kind of died off, but now I think like dubstep and rhythm and that whole style is like bigger than ever. Dubstep was big like a while ago, but then it kind of died off, and like people thought there was only a couple like styles you heard, but now there's like so many artists doing mid-tempo or trying out mid-tempo songs, and I've heard so many like diverse tracks that still fall under the mid-tempo umbrella, which I think is super cool.
Do you consider mid-tempo like a style of bass music?
100% in comparison to what?
Like, you know how like house and techno and stuff like that they're more like, I mean, they're not bass music. Like bass music is like, man, how do I describe what bass music is?
Well, like the thing with house
It's
and
like
techno,
the sub is generated from like a bass, and like that's its main focus. Whereas like other styles of dance music, your sub is like created from your kick.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's a cool way to think about it. The thing with mid-tempo, it's a weird term because like you can have mid-tempo sounds and styles at a different tempo at like 140, 150 that all of a sudden becomes not a mid-tempo song. Like there's 178L like kind of like created that like staticky blast style drop with like the really distorted basses. And then I've heard some other songs that are at like 150 BPM that sound like that, which means it's not mid-tempo, like by like technically, because it's not in like the like 85 to 110 BPM or whatever. So it's so weird like to think about like it as like a genre, because it's like, yeah, it's like it's so subjective.
Yeah, I think what happened is, like, this is just my personal thoughts, is for the longest time, like, mainstream tempos like of like dance music were like just upbeat, and as like when like the mid-tempo like beat was like introduced, I just think it had such an impact. People were just like, oh shit, it's mid-tempo.
Yeah.
But now that like more people have discovered it and it's like a little bit less head turning and a little bit more like acceptable, the genre name I think is like holding it back, which is why I've been either calling it like industrial or electro, depending on the vibe.
Yeah,
like, if it's more so gothy and like dark, then it's like industrial. But if it's like more like poppy, and not poppy, but like more like energetic, like something more like 1788L, and it has like a lot of sawtooth buzziness to it, it's like electro.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. Like the more minimal mid-tempo stuff would be considered industrial, whereas like the energetic, like fast, get you moving is considered like electro. I understand that for sure. I don't think they're gonna, like, people are gonna stop calling it mid-tempo though, just because that's like how it originated, and it's just gonna stay like that. But
what about down tempo though?
That's something like I never even really thought about, because some people even call like some of my songs like down tempo, and I'm like,
that is true.
What's the difference? I mean, like,
well,
if one song is like 95 BPM or 94 BPM, like,
well,
like down tempo as a genre, quote unquote, used to be like used much more, I think, and that kind of evolved. And I feel like mid-tempo as a genre might evolve in the same way.
Well, what is down tempo? Like, was that like a thing?
Okay,
so tempo? I actually don't know.
Back in the day,
it's like dubstep. Basically.
Grandpa Social Kid is going to tell a story.
Okay.
So back at the old raves,
yeah,
like in the early 2000s, dance music was way faster. Like trance was like almost always 140 BPM.
Oh, yeah.
House was like 130 to 135. And like breaks was like the same, like everything was like faster.
Right.
So people would get tired, and usually they would have chill out rooms. We don't have chill out rooms anymore, at least not to any rave I've been to.
Yeah.
And people would play like chill out music or down tempo, and that would be like artists like Spangle or John Hopkins, and then dubstep artists like started like making like getting played by downtempo DJs, like when there was a market for downtempo DJs. And back in the day, like dubstep was basically downtempo because it was like
it was
like marked at like 70 BPM,
right?
And it was all bass driven. But then like dubstep got big because these chill out rooms started getting started popping off, and people started like thinking like, this is probably how dubstep evolved. They just kept pushing the down tempo, like, what can we do with this tempo? And then
that's so interesting.
And eventually, like by 2010, like the Americans got a hold of it, and it became like it's a whole new thing.
Right.
So, and as like dance music has like slowed down and like discovered like the gold standard 128, the need for chill out rooms have kind of like disappeared. And like the term down tempo isn't really used much anymore, and things that would be considered down tempo back in the day are probably considered like deep dubstep or deep dub or something like that.
Right, like kind of the weird,
Yeah.
like liquidy dubstep.
Yeah,
Wook,
like
Yeah.
wook
wook
bass.
bass,
Wook bass.
deep dub, UK
Okay.
dub, stuff like
What
that.
what's a wook bass? Who's like a wook bass artist? I feel like I would know.
Peekaboo.
Okay, I
G-Rex.
was gonna say like Peekaboo.
The
Peekaboo.
Whittler.
Is that
The
what
Whittler.
people are calling it? Wook bass?
Yeah.
I mean,
I call it Colorado bass, but I'm the only one who does that because
I-
I'm from Colorado, and I'm like, that's dubstep in Colorado.
I call it wook bass, but I think like what the trendsetters are calling it are freeform bass.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
freeform bass. That's what it is on Beatport, right? It's freeform.
It's left field bass
Oh,
on
left
Beatport.
field.
Left field bass? That's so
Left field
funny.
bass
That's so
on
funny you call it
Beatport.
wook bass though, because
It's the wooks.
my friend Nick and I, my best friend Nick and I, we call mid-tempo as a joke, we call it wook step. Because because someone commented on one of my songs a while ago, like, oh, like, where can I find more wook step songs like this? And I was like, what the fuck is wook step? And it's not a thing. It's just what he was calling mid-tempo. And I was like, that's so much funnier than mid-tempo is calling it wook step.
Wook step? Interesting.
Damn, that could become a subgenre though.
That would be a cool subgenre though. Wook step.
I know. I mean, like, yeah, that Wookiee bass at like 100. It'd be cool to experiment. That's the thing. You can like blend genres and kind of like come up with new sounds. Like that's
Totally.
a really cool thing. I think that you can experiment with just to try and find inspiration, find new ideas. It's just like combining genres.
Yes, I love doing that.
Absolutely.
I've been experimenting with combining like hardcore and like psytrance and somehow mixing it into mid-tempo.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think that's a great way to grow and just like learn like new techniques and stuff, but also like see if you can come up with something super unique that people.
Yeah, especially with those two genres because they're typically high BPM genres.
Mhm.
So like they completely change when you're like messing with them at like 90 and like 100 BPM.
Yeah,
It's really interesting.
Plus, it like goes to your roots because you were a trance artist to start.
That's
So,
true.
Like
you like it fast, right?
he was
Yeah.
originally a
Yeah.
trance artist. when
Right.
he
What was
like-
your alias? What was your alias?
Frost Raven.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of.
Oh, if you're thinking of K Theory, so
Oh, he's had many, by the way.
this is what happens when you get older. You have like lots of projects.
Yeah.
His first was Frost
My
Raven.
first project by myself, like pre-2010, like
Oh my
playing like raves in the bad part of town. I was a psytrance DJ and producer called Frost Raven,
No way.
and
Mhm.
all my tracks were like 140 plus.
That's amazing. And they're like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, bomb with a galloping like psytrance beat. Bum,
They
bum,
like
bum, bum,
hold
bum,
up
bum.
really
Yeah.
well still, by the way.
Some of them.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Well, I haven't
Like,
heard all of them, but
it's
he
cool like
holds
when
up
you
very
look
well.
back. It's cool when you look back at like a song you made years ago, and you still like it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like the mix wasn't like the best, or maybe even it was pretty good, and you're like, wow, like I actually did that long ago. It's cool. It's super.
I
cool.
love that. It doesn't happen too much with me. I'm really picky.
Yeah,
But
well,
some
also
of the-
that's
some of these
also a
rap-
good thing. Like, it's also good to like look back and be like, oh, I could have done better this way. That's also like a good way to grow, right? So.
Yeah.
hmm So, you've been touring in China a lot, right?
Yeah, dude, it's been so fucking sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So they're getting down to like mid-tempo, or are you just what are you playing at your shows?
I'm playing like they love mid-tempo, so there they call it glitch hop, and
Okay.
and that style, like the mid-tempo style, hasn't really broken through over there. They know who Rez is, but other than that, they don't really know any other mid-tempo artists, and that except for me, really. I think Hades went out to China recently. So she's been getting some love, and they're like a lot of like the mid-tempo people here are starting to get recognition there. But yeah, back in like May or April when I first went out there, no one really, that genre is so like primary, and I just happened to be like one very popular because a couple of my songs got a lot of streams on their streaming platform, which is called NetEase. They don't have any Spotify or anything like that. It's all different. So I didn't even know that my music was doing so well there, like for a while, up until like March or April, when my manager got hit up by a booking agent in China to say, like, we want to bring ZABO out. And then, like, turns out it was all legit and everything, and it worked out. And yeah, I went there, and that was like my first ever show as ZABO. I've DJ'd like as like Dan, just like as me, like years ago, just like in random clubs. But as like ZABO, this was like my first show. And
Nice.
like there were like a lot of people there. Like there were like a lot of people there, and they all knew me, and like they all wanted to meet me. And it was just like, it was so surreal of like a moment, because I was like, wow, like 2 months ago, like I had no idea this was coming, and now it's like really happening. And yeah, like everything in China's been going really 4 times now, and everything's growing there, and I'm gonna be going back a lot, so I'm like super happy about all of that.
But yeah, dude, that is so sick.
Yeah,
China.
yeah, like it's so random, like, right?
It's random. There's my food's in the background. Let's move that. It's hella random, but it's also like really, really, really cool, because touring in like other countries, I mean, that's like a lot of people like dream about that. I have the only country I've like toured in like outside of America is Canada, and that's kind of like, is that another country? Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of
Why
course
you
it
guys
is.
went to like India and shit?
Oh well, I didn't actually go.
Oh.
Yeah,
K-Theory went.
yeah,
but
K
you
Theory
didn't
went,
go?
but I didn't go.
Oh.
No.
Okay, that's still cool though, man. Like, yeah, it's so crazy to think that like my music brought me to China, like literally brought me across the world. Like,
You got-
so cool.
You got great music. You are what I would consider a mid-tempo god.
really,
If you choose to like accept that
Dude.
bestowment,
dude, thank you.
you are very welcome.
Dude, I really fuck with your music too, and I've been sad like you haven't been releasing music up until a few weeks ago when you released an EP, which I actually really love, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I really fuck with it. I've been waiting. Yeah, and you released Oval Sun before that, but yeah, I'm always looking out for releases from you, man, because I fuck with your music hard. You've got like you've got a unique style too, which is cool. That you sound
Thank you.
different than the other mid-tempo artists, and like your production quality's like top. So yeah, man, you're fucking sick.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Means a lot coming from you, a master of mid-tempo.
Appreciate it, man.
I do have more tracks coming out. No more this year, but 2020 is quickly approaching, and I plan on releasing as many tracks as I can.
100%.
I do have like a mix that I'm putting out. Like I think like before January, like the end of December. It's supposed to be like a solstice, like New Year's Eve
Oh, cool.
mix, and I might put in some like IDs. But other than that, I'm
Yeah.
done releasing this year. So I will. You know what I could do? Once we're done with this little live stream, I could like send you some of my like IDs.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
We could like trade music.
100%. Yeah, I've got.
Because I love playing out. I mean, I don't really play out. So when I'm saying play out, I mean just like DJing them like at home and like making mixes. I love including your tracks in my mix. You and 13 are probably my favorite like mid-tempo producers.
Wow, I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot. That's good. That's super.
Yeah, man, you're so good.
I really appreciate that, man. I look up to you too. It's so funny. Like, there's so many good producers nowadays that like I talk to and that like we're friends with and everything. And so it's like we're like surrounded by so much like
The internet age.
so many good vibes that it's like I like look up to so many of my friends. It's super cool.
I love it. It's how we get better, and it keeps the scene alive. It's kind of reminds me of like Plur age. I don't know if Plur really like happens anymore in the scene.
I got plurred up a couple of times in China by like Chinese fans. They had like candy and we did the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super
Okay,
fun.
so the dream is not dead. The dream, I'm right on, dude.
Are you a player princess?
I am not a plur princess, but I am definitely like a plur. Wow, plur prince. I am a plur enthusiast.
Okay, yeah, all about the good vibes, right?
It's all about the good vibes. I used to
Positivity.
wear candy like a lot more.
Yeah.
Not so much nowadays. In my early 20s, I would like go to people's houses and like make candy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was when it was like way less mainstream. It was like you were like one of the only people that like had candy, and if you saw another person with like candy, you like knew like, oh shit, they're a raver.
Yeah.
Like people talk about happy hardcore or gabber or whatever like ravers would talk about in like the 2000s.
Right.
Reality Chargers is asking us like, what are your thoughts on DJ Mag's way of ranking DJs and determining who's pop or not? Oh well, I can tell you.
Okay, you
that
go.
I
You
think
go ahead.
that's sorry. It's just really quick. I think it's meaningless at this point, and it may have had lots of meaning and significance back in the day, but I don't really know like who's like the Zoomers and like younger millennials are just listening to Spotify. They probably don't even like. I don't even know if they care about DJ Mag. I don't know if anyone, unless you're like top tier like management company, like cares about that.
Well, yeah, I agree totally. I think it's super corrupt. Like, do you remember the whole Dimitri Vegas and like Mike thing? They had
Yeah.
Tomorrowland.
You're right. It's
People
corrupt
with
also.
ads making everyone vote for them. It's super fucked. But and I agree in North America and all that. It's like it's looked at like kind of a joke. But what my team in China has told me is that in Asia, like a lot of promoters actually look to that to see who they want to book, and it's actually in Asia it's looked at as like an actual ranking system in a way.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
they're wow. So you know what's like happening is it's like it's meaningless, but then like the sort of oligarchs of EDM are like giving it meaning, and so you may have like people booking artists based off of a DJ Mag, but
Yeah,
like what
yeah.
if the artist like doesn't actually have actual relevance? It doesn't pull tickets, then like someone gets in trouble.
Yeah, I'm sure they look more into like the statistics and how many tickets they think that artist can sell. But yeah, in Asia, it is looked at differently, and they do take that into consideration when negotiating booking fees and just like who to book for like, what event and all of that. Yeah, it's so weird. Like I glanced at the list like when it came out a few weeks ago, and there's like so many artists I've never heard of, and there's so many artists that like I know I would have put on my top 100 like way before. Like it's all like even like just like Deadmau5. Yeah, someone said Deadmau5 at 71. Like, come on.
What?
Like, that's so fucked.
What?
So, and it's
It's like the Rotten Tomatoes of ranking. It sounds like it's really political and corrupted, and
it's so political. Yeah, it's just like I think a lot of people put like the bigger acts put a lot of money into just like I don't know generating fake votes or something like or just like so much money on promo just to try and get a good spot. Yeah, it's definitely corrupt, but it is what it is.
yeah. So, okay, so Instagram is gonna cut me off in like 10 minutes
Yeah.
because they only like let us stream for an hour for whatever reason. Instagram, get that fixed. Hire me when I'm a software engineer. I'll help you out. So we're gonna kind of wrap this up, and I wanted to like just say I really appreciate talking to you.
Yeah,
And
man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. Oh, she wants to come in and say hi.
I just wanted
Hello.
to say hi, like with a face. ZABO.
How are you?
I love your music so much.
I appreciate it.
That's
I
our son's
appreciate it.
background.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also like want to collab with you again. I think that like that would be a lot.
Make another collab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
chat.
collab.
We'll chat for sure, man. But definitely, when we get off the live stream, send me some unreleased music. I'd love to hear some, and I'll send you some of my stuff.
Yeah, man. It's good to know that you're feeling better. And I hope you stay well. Touring could be very like. I know I got sick when I'm touring, so like I basically no hard feelings the other day. Like
Yeah.
everything's all good. We will talk soon. And do you have any new releases that are coming out soon?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything fully planned, but my next release is gonna be something more melodic, and it's gonna be something nothing like any other ZABO song. So I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but the next
2020?
It's gonna be in 2020, and it's gonna be so like different than all the other ZABO stuff. But I'm super excited.
Looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
So 2020, and are you going to be touring more in 2020?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to be going back to China a lot, and my manager is working on booking me like a lot of one-off shows in the States. So there are some confirmed ones I can't say yet, but I am going to be doing a lot of touring, so it's going to be really fun.
Right on. So you got new music, got some tours coming out.
Yeah.
All right, for like the people that are watching this on YouTube, do some comments. Let us know what you think. Ask ZABO some questions or any guests you want in the future. Getting social with Social Kid. ZABO, many blessings. Have a great night. Great talking to you.
Yeah, it was great to meet you, sir.
Thanks, guys. It was a good talk. We'll chat soon, okay?
We will chat soon. Peace out, man. Have a good night.